Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. So guys, we're able to jump back onto Eternal's account. He has pulled himself a Baroth the Bloodsoaked. We're going to do a Baroth guide today. The third of the 4 new epics that have come out. Bringing it to you to see if you think it's worth your time in this fusion. So Baroth the Bloodsoaked is the orc in the fusion, which can be pulled together from these 4 rares. I'd say it's actually relatively simple to get compared to some of the others in terms of the actual kind of parts that go into him. So you can get him straight from the training event. That's hard. The training events are long. But arena takedown is pretty easy. Artifact enhancement is just about, do you have the silver saved up? Fire Knight, generally pretty easy. And Spider, generally pretty easy compared to other stuff. So no shard pullings needed here. It's just resource management. So Baroth feels the easiest of the epics to get. So let's dive into him and see if he's actually worth your time, worth your energy. So let's have a look. In terms of skills, and actually, like visually, I just wonder if he was going to be part of a samurai faction. Same with Caden. Same with this guy. Same with Sato. There's quite a lot coming out right now where you look at him and you think, I just wonder if you were meant to be in a different faction. Does he really feel like the rest of the barbarian skins? Not so much to me, but I do love his skin. I think the whole kind of, yeah, I mean, blood-soaked. I don't know if he looks like he's blood-soaked, but he's definitely been dipping in red paint. But yeah, anyway, look, looks cool. I love the armor. I love the axes. Again, like smeared in blood. Pretty cool. But anyway, let's look at his kit. So he has got 2-hitter, which is apt because he's got 2 axes. 2-hitter, first hit, 20% chance of filling this champion's turn meter by 10%. Second hit, 20% chance of decreasing the target's turn meter by 10%. So you can buff this up an extra 10, which we'll do. So it's going to be 30 and 30% chance to land. It's not like masses of chance, but it's not bad either. He's an HP-based champion. All of his abilities scale from HP, and he's got a pretty healthy amount of HP to start with. Not crazy, but pretty healthy. So second ability then, also a 2-hitter. The first hit places a shield equal to 25% of the damage inflicted, and it places it for all allies. That's kind of nice. You can book this to a 3-turn cooldown, so you can actually cycle through this pretty quick. And start to grow a pretty decent shield for your team. The second hit heals all allies by 10% of the damage inflicted. I like the order of that. So you put a shield out, plus he throws a heal on. So, yeah, I mean, this is a really nice second skill. It's only a single target thing, which is a bit poor. It'd be good if it was AoE, but still, single target. If you don't have a miscreated monster or another shield champion, then it feels like this guy is a slightly weak source version. I actually think, because of this being on a 3-turn cooldown, Relentless Gear, and because you get some turn meter gain here potentially, Relentless Gear is the way to go for this guy. Because he feels like he's a dungeon champion. Like, he's not going to be an arena champion with this kit. He's not a clan boss champion for sure. Pretty much. I mean, he does have attack one enemy 2 times. First hit, can book up to 100% chance of decrease attack for 2 turns. Second hit, decrease defense for 2 turns. I mean, maybe on a 4-turn cooldown, though. So if this was on a 3-turn cooldown, I'd say, you know, works for clan boss. On a 4-turn cooldown, you would have to make him go pretty fast for this to be effectively on clan boss all the time. So kind of throws him out of the running for clan boss. But the rest of his kit feels like, you know, dungeon-centric, faction-centric, and maybe will help you in Doom Tower as well. So it turns out we actually don't have any books. I can't book him out, which is a shame because the reduced cooldown on that A2 is actually pretty big. But I've gone for extra health, extra shield value, extra healing value. He does shields and healing. I've gone for the Cycle of Magic to try and get the cooldown reduced on his A2, and then chance to put his shields on for an extra turn. Not sure if that's the best way to go. Maybe I should have gone over here. And then we just gone with kind of like a dungeon-style damage dealing build. So I can't book out his abilities. I really would have liked to book this one out. And I probably would have liked to have got the reduced, the the better chance here to land these. And these. I'd say he's worth booking out if you're going to use him. So, but we'll see him without books, and we'll see what we can do. I'm going to go for high HP, high crit rate, high speed in my gearing. Okay, guys, so we have geared Baroth the Bloodsoaked in Relentless gear, as I spoke about. So we've gone high HP, high crit rate, good crit damage. We've got some accuracy on his build as well. The accuracy is probably a bit lower than I'd like it to be, because I do actually want to land these abilities. I didn't have books, so we've not booked him. But basically, we've gone for 60k HP, nearly 200 speed in Relentless gear, 90% crit rate, 210 crit damage. The way we've done that is we've gone for HP on the ring with HP rolls. Don't have any glyphs to work with there. We've gone for crit damage on the amulet, and we've gone for accuracy on the banner. And then basically, I've taken up speed boots with HP on. HP chest in Immortal gear. I would have loved to set on Immortal, but I just don't have the gear to do it. We've done crit damage on the gloves with speed. And then basically I went for speed, crit rate, and accuracy where I could find it. I really couldn't find much accuracy in the gear. So if I was building them on in my gear, I could get probably an extra 10k HP, easily get to 200 accuracy, get to the 100% crit rate, maybe 230 crit damage. But this is a good representation of like a normal person's build, or like even a good person's build. These are all good pieces. So this is a good representation of, you know, probably the mid to end game player in terms of what gear you could achieve. So look, I feel like he's a dungeon champion, out and out dungeon champion. So we're just going to run him through some dungeon content. So look, it's not my account. We're going to run him with this team here. So we've got a reviver, buffs. You can't buff HP, so Baroth is going to be always at the same HP level. That means his damage is always the same. Let's just slow it down a second here. What do? We get our buffs on. Baroth should do his shield gain as his first ability. He does, so we get a 3-turn shield on everyone, or 2 or 3 turns. Reasonable level of shield, not anything strong. It's not like miscreated monster shield here. The Relentless set proc in there does give us a chance to get back our extra turns. We do want that so that we get to this next wave and have got a chance to stack those turns up, stack those shields up as quick as we can. But I mean, his hits here are coming in at 6k, and you've seen the gear I've got him in. It's not brilliant, but it's not bad either. Like 60k HP, and he's doing between 6. Actually, we don't have decreased defense on, so let's see what happens when decreased defense goes out there. But I mean, I've seen like 6k hit with just a weaken on so far. 16k there, that's more like it. That's a bit better. It's still not strong, considering everything he does is single target. Double hit, 16k a pop. It's okay. Compared to what I've seen in Caden and Fane, he feels a bit underwhelming to me. Shields popping up there, the shields are not big. You know, if you talk about the sort of slams we're going to take from this guy, you know, the Ice Golem boss, this is really where you want shields. And Miscreated Monster, as a good example, can put up a shield for a good level of your health. This guy, not so much. What I like about this guy is he can stack his shields up. So if you do get him running quick and you've got your cooldowns, which we don't have him booked, then you would get those shields stacking pretty fast. So he could be a bit helpful in like faction wars, I guess. But you see what he's doing here. I mean, really, he's certainly not carrying anything here. You know, if you've got an ally protection champ like Vergis is doing a bit of a carry. He's not really. His shields, maybe they saved us there. Maybe they saved our life, I guess you could argue. But, yeah, for me, not the best. I mean, it's negative affinity here, so we'd kind of give him the benefit of the doubt in this one. And I guess we're getting slammed down. So, I don't know. Let's get his HP up a bit. Let's try him in a couple of other bits of content. I guess Dragon shielding is kind of nice. See what happens here. Looks like we've already tried this one out previously. So this time, yeah, we've got the shield out, which is stacked on top of a shield set, which is kind of nice. He gets his decreased defense, gets another turn. We're definitely doing better level of damage here now that we're against the better, like a strong affinity, of course. Bane gets wiped out. Yeah, like double hits there for 20 odd K is actually pretty good. That's interesting. I wonder if that HP has actually stacked better than the crit damage. We swapped crit damage for HP gloves, and it feels like we're hitting harder or better. Don't know, 5, 6, 8. Maybe it's the same. Maybe it's similar, but definitely feels like HP is a better way to go for him there. But anyway, you can see, like, in terms of the shields that we're stacking up, they're not enough to keep people alive here. They're doing a bit, but they're not doing a lot. Which kind of 100% means he's not going to be useful in PvP. Like, PvP is not his spot. He's definitely not giving you enough shielding to make him relevant for clan boss. For faction wars, maybe, just about. But there's not a lot that I'm seeing here that I'm thinking, you know, this is the guy to build. I definitely think Relentless is the way to go on him, though. I can't think of another stronger set than Relentless on him, because you just got to get back to that shield ability as quick as you can. And you see here, this is just going to be a slow run. So I guess the other place to look at him realistically is Spider. You know, Spider is somewhere where you kind of, if you don't have a miscreated monster and you're looking to build a shield team, so like an HP burn strat, something like that, then he's definitely like a big person in those sort of teams. So let's try with this end. We've got 2 decreased turn meter champs. We've got Baroth coming in for shield and like secondary tank. We've got main tank here. And then we've got Apothecary for speed here. So most of the damage is going to come from HP burn from Drexar's passive. And then the Cold Heart Seekers. Baroth really is in there to drop defense for us. So we hope he drops defense with one of his abilities. And we want him to be like a secondary tank and just throw shields on us. So you know what some of the kind of shield champs are like your miscreated monster. Decrease attack and defense. That's actually really good. Enables the Heart Seekers to go off. The question is, like, how much more is he giving us? Like, the shields are like really minor. Really minor here. Is it even enough to kind of... Don't think we've even got it back around again yet. And it might come around if if I had him in... if I had his cooldowns back better, then yeah. But, you know, that's a lot of books for someone that I think is not that good. Drexar's doing his job. Just tanking stuff up. Drexar's probably... Don't know, he's one of my favourite, if not my favourite, Spiderling tank. Just because of his HP. Look how many HP burns we've got out there. So much damage is going to come from those HP burns now. But really, Baroth, him being in here or not, makes basically no difference. He's basically, apart from the drop defense for us, he's made pretty much no difference to this run. You know, so we've got the shields out there. I guess it's small gains, but there's champions that do the job way, way better. So yeah, this is probably one of his best spots. He's done very little damage, which means he puts very little shielding out. You know, Drexar, Cold Heart between him doing all the work. Sylar doing all of the turn meter stuff. So, you know, I'd imagine if I just took him out, the run goes exactly the same. Apart from we didn't have decreased defense. So yeah, if I replace him with a decreased defense champ. But I'd imagine we still do it in the same way that we've kind of just done it there. You know, it will just take a bit longer because we don't have the drop defense. But the HP burns will still be coming in on this fella. You know, and drop turn meter is still coming from the same 2. We've still got healing going on. So yeah, I don't know, guys. That's probably his best spot. Maybe Fire Knight's his best spot. Let's try one more. Let's try one more dungeon. So for Fire Knights, he does bring multi-hitters. You know, you've got 2-hitter, 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 plus drop defense and attack. That's good. And he's got a chance of stealing and filling turn meter. So neutral affinity for the dungeon. Maybe this and Spider, both reasonable places to play him. Again, like, if you just take him in isolation and look at his kit, you can say, yeah, pretty good for here. You know, pretty good in this dungeon. But if you just do a comparison against tons of other champs, other than having multi-hits, so 2 hits is kind of useful. But other than that, I would take an Armada over this guy. I would take, there's tons of champs that just do the job better. And that's what I dislike. He doesn't have AoE damage. If he had AoE damage, maybe he becomes like more realistically in teams. He hits okay, like 20 odd K there. It's not bad. He can't be affected by things like decreased defense, decreased attack, because all of his damage is based off HP, which is a positive. But really, this is probably the dungeon that he was built for. When they're kind of pulling him together, this is probably what they were thinking. But really, we got 3 legendaries in here, and a Cold Heart, who's pretty much legendary status for this dungeon, and that's why we're getting through this, not because of this guy. These little shields here, look how weak these shields are. So far, I've done champion guides on Fane and on Caden, and I will do 2-hack as well. I've got 2-hack on my own account, but this guy has been definitely the worst of the lot. This guy is not someone I would recommend you taking to 60 unless your account is kind of struggling for champions. There's a lot better out there than this guy. Even in Faction Wars, Orcs have got a good set of champions. So unless you're just lacking any epics or legendaries out of Orcs, then again, I probably wouldn't be taking this guy up to 60 and like using my books and stuff on him. If anyone has found really strong use for him and are finding him really effective, please comment below. And before you say it, I know some guys will say it, I did see the Murder Inc. video. The Murder Inc. video is wearing like crazy good gear, and that's always something you have to take into account with this type of thing. So he's taking a good hit here. The finite hits hard. That's a good thing. HP-based champions, if you build them well, can take a good hit. Relentless set here popping off. That's like 6 hits of his shield gone. But that's RNG as well. We've got to remember that. That's not just a straight going to happen every time. RNGs let us do that. So we gain a bit of turn meter there. Sorry, we gained some shields there. But the shields are really minor. I wish they'd just put a bit more shielding in. Decrease attack and defense is nice. And then we're going to go through, and this should now be done deal with Lysandra and a Cold Heart in the mix. So yeah, guys, Baroth the Bloodsoaked. I kind of like the idea of what they've done with his kit. Just like a lot of these HP-based champions, I feel like he even needs an AoE ability, like that shield ability. If it's AoE, he is all of a sudden top tier epic. He's on the miscreated monster scale in terms of a shield which scales off of his damage on an AoE would be insanely strong. But when it's single target and he doesn't hit that hard, I feel like they just missed a trick with this guy. So this is probably the weakest of the epics so far out the Fusion that I've done a guide on. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, guys. Yeah, if anyone's finding good use of him, let me know. He's got some good stuff in his kit. I just don't think he's that strong. So, look, guys, I've been Hell Hades. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll catch you later.